Hayom harat olam Hayom yamim b'mishpat Kol yitzurei olamim Im kevanim.
Shana Tova. Hey, it's really great to be back in person after a couple of years. Sorry, we're not supposed to clap, but that's okay for this one. Service hasn't started yet. Just like to make a couple announcements before we get started. For safety and courtesy, please silence your cell phones. And with seating limited in the sanctuary, try to make room for others in your row if needed. Before the service begins, I'd like to direct your attention to the emergency exits and other safety features. You can see the emergency exits in all the doors. There are also exits at the back of the social hall, at the side of the sanctuaries where the sliding wall is opened, and on either side of the exit doors. There's a fire extinguisher and an AED next to the water fountain in the hall, and there's another fire extinguisher inside the doors to the sanctuary where you entered. Please look now and find the exits nearest to you. Also, we have place cards on some of the seats and in the pews. And what that will basically do, in the unlikely event that we need to evacuate, we will meet in the southwest corner of the parking lot, away from the building. And for you that aren't really familiar with directions, it's kind of in that back corner there. And then a special note about the choir tonight. For performance purposes, the choir members are asked to be unmasked during seating, but they are all fully vaccinated, boosted, and are testing regularly. And if you are taking part in the service tonight, if anyone is going to be coming up to the bima, please make sure that you wear your mask walking up to and back from the bima when you go back to your seats. And when you come up, just place your book here. If the microphone needs to be adjusted, don't touch the microphone. The rabbi will adjust the microphone for you. Shana Tova.
So Shana Tova, everybody. As Jay said, it is incredibly wonderful to be back in person and also to have the technological ability to reach out and touch our community virtually anywhere in the world. It's a real blessing, and we want to just from the very beginning express our thanks to our Jewish Federation who helped us upgrade our technology, which hopefully will enhance your virtual experience even more than it has been over the months that we've been meeting virtually. We're going to start in your prayer books, in your Machzorim on page 6, although it's also on your song sheet. And what more appropriate words than Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good and how beautiful it is that we are all able to dwell together as one. Join us. Little English. Oh, how good and how beautiful it is when we all together as one. Oh, how good, how beautiful it is when we all Tov one more time, maybe two. Hine matov umanai shevet achi gam yachad hine matov umanai shevet achi gam yachad.
L'Shana Tova. It's incredibly powerful to look out at you and see you gathered in our sanctuary for the first time for High Holy Days since 2019. So deeply appreciate also those who are joining us online, who are praying with us this evening. And thank you for letting me part of your life. The honor of being your rabbi and friend means so much to me. I feel blessed every day to work with a talented staff, a dedicated volunteer leadership led by Laura Zuckerman. I'm so lucky to share my life with my wife, Karen, with my amazing kids, Sam, Eli, and Abby. Much has changed since we gathered last year online, and much has stayed the same in our world, in my life, and in yours. Whether in person or online, we gather as one community tonight, and also as individuals. So as has become our tradition, I would like to acknowledge the joys and sorrows that you bring with you tonight as you are within the embrace of this community. And if you're at home and on one of our platforms that allows for chat, if you want to, when I ask people about various things from their lives, feel free to mention what you're thinking about at that moment. So some of us have celebrated in this last year the birth of a baby, a bar or bat mitzvah, a wedding, a special anniversary or birthday, a conversion to Judaism. If you or your family has celebrated a joyous milestone during this last year, I invite you to rise. I wish you Mazel Tov. We all rejoice with you. You may be seated. Some of you have seen marriages end, lost a job, experienced surgery, suffered from illness, or grieved the loss of a loved one. If you have been through a painful time this last year, I invite you to rise. My prayers and the life-giving prayers of our community are with all of you. You may be seated. Temple Beth Israel is your community, and each of us is responsible for making this new year a good one. Being with you helps me to face this new year with hope and with courage. May we inspire and strengthen each other. I conclude with the traditional Sephardic blessing for the new year. May the old year and its curses end, and may the new year and its blessings begin. L'Shana Tova. Page 9.
Reka Makom Kadosh. We come to tell, we come to hear, we come to teach, to learn, we come to grow, and so we say. The time is now. Sing to the one. God's presence is here. Shekhinah will dwell upon us. We'll make this space a holy place, so separate, so whole. Rejoice every soul who enters
Like to invite you to turn to page 10. Actually, page 11. Thank you. And I would like to invite Karen Kupitz and Lisa Bush to come on up and help us to kindle our holiday lights. I invite everybody who is comfortable doing so to please rise. And gratitude to Karen and to Lisa for all their support that allows us to, in a different way, reach this time and get us to this moment, who support your clergy through this challenging time through the year and all the time, other times as well. So, page 11.
The first mitzvah in the Torah is let there be light. So we are commanded, in everything you do, be a menorah, a bringer of light. Live with honor, act with integrity, do your work with passion, and the radiance of your deeds will live after you. May our ideals burn bright, forever unextinguished. And may we live our lives like the flames we kindle, always stretched upward, striving for the good, reaching for you.
Blessing, eternal our God, you fill the universe with majestic might, teaching us holiness through sacred obligations, giving us the mitzvah of bringing light on this festival. Source of blessing, eternal our God, you fill the universe with majestic might, giving us life, upholding the life within us, and bringing us to this time.
We turn to page 15. Tiku B'chodesh Shofar. We're on page 13 first, and then 15.
This autumn night, the shades of darkness in the sky are signs of earth's turning, the fleeting ways of nature. And we, drawn together in this holy house, filled with New Year's hope and light, turn our hearts towards you in prayer, in worship, seeking life's essence. In the presence of your love, we feel the nearness of those who bless our lives, even in death. Precious memories of their love restore our strength, renew our faith in life's goodness. We acknowledge with gratitude the life you have given us, the bounty that sustains us, your comfort in sickness and sorrow, your compassion in valleys of despair. God of years, God of eternity, bless us now and always. Bless our homes and our families. Be with us in our dreams and in our hopes. Be with us through these days of awe as we search our souls within and seek the lasting shelter of your love.
Page 15. At the
תיקחו בחודש שופר, וכסל יום חגנו, כי חוק לישראל הוא משפט לאלוהי יעקב.
At the new moon, at the full moon, for our feast day, sound the shofar, for that is the law of Israel, the way of the God of Jacob.
Hallelujah, Betega shofar.
Praise God with the blast of the shofar.
Baruch atah Adonai, shomea kol teruah, amo Yisrael, berachamim, berachamim. Amen.
Blessed are you in our lives, Adonai. You hear with love the shofar, true voice of your people, Israel.
Tekiah, Shvarim, Teruah, Tekiah,
You may be seated. So we turn to page 16 and 17. What you'll find on page 17 is the traditional text of Hineni. We'll actually talk about that text a little bit later in the service tonight as well. And there's also a personal Hineni text on page 16, which you may find it meaningful to reflect on as the cantor offers the text on page 17, and then we'll skip to the final 7 lines on page 18.
פחד יושב תהילות ישראל. באתי לעמוד ולחנן לפניך על עמך ישראל, אשר שלחו ואף על פי שאיני חדי והגוף לכך, על כן אבקשך אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. אדוני, אדוני, אל רחום וחנון, אלוהים שדי איום ונורא, אינו מצליח דרכי, אשר אנוכי הולך לעמוד לבקש, רחמים עלי ועל שולחי, ונעל אל תפשיעם בחטאותי, ואל תכוון בעוונותי, כי חוטא ופושע אני. שתבוא תפילתי לפני כיסא כבודך בעבור על הצדיקים והחסידים התמימים והישרים, ובעבור כבוד שמך הגדול והנורא, כי אתה שומע תפילת עמך ישראל ברחמים. ברוך אתה שומע, 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 שומע תפילה.
Okay. If you're able, I'll invite you to please rise. We continue on page 19. Open the ark. Our God and God of our ancestors, may we know your blessings in the year 5783. Eternal One, bless us and the whole house of Israel with renewed life, happiness and peace, comfort and courage, resilience and strength. May the words of our heart be acceptable to you in the new year that stretches before us. We are forever grateful for the gift of life. We remain standing and continue with our call to prayer, Baruch Hu, page 20.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
I'm going to invite you to remain standing and invite Angelo Basilio to lead us on page 23.
Bless Adonai, who spins day into dusk. With wisdom, watch the dawn gates open. With understanding, let time and seasons come and go. With awe, perceive the stars in lawful orbit. Morning dawns, evening darkens. Darkness and light yielding one to the other, yet each distinguished and unique. Marvel at life. Strive to know its ways. Seek wisdom and truth, the gateways to life's mysteries. Wondrous indeed is the evening twilight.
You may be seated. We continue on the last 5 lines of page 22.
Umariom, umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai Tzevaot, Shemo, El Chai v'Kayam, Hamidim l'chalenu, le'lam ba'el, Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch Hu, Baruch Shema. Amari Varavim. Amen.
Going to continue with Ki Heim Chayenu, page 24. It's the last 3 lines in the Hebrew.
Ki Heim Chayenu, Ve'orech Yameinu, Uvahem Negeyomam, Negeyomam לבד, ואהבתך התסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני. אוהב עמו ישראל.
We continue with Shema Yisrael on page 26 and 27. I invite you to rise.
You should have song sheets on your sheets. You can, your seats. You can join us. Song sheets.
Turn to page 33. I invite Lisa Barrelsheimer to lead us.
break the bonds of anger, to be generous of heart, to break the bonds of shame, to live with self-respect, to break the bonds of envy, to serve one another in joy, to break the bonds of boredom, to be attentive to all God's gifts, to break the bonds of fear, to live with courage and strength, to untie the knots of betrayal, to love with fullness of being, to break the bonds of loneliness, to receive a hand of hope, to break the bonds of self-centeredness, to extend a hand of help. Released from the darkness, our people found their freedom at the sea, and we pray for liberation at the dawning of this year.
Mi Chamocha, Song of Freedom, page 34.
ראו בניך, מוכי הים לפני משה ומרים. זה לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני. ברכו ברוך שמו. כל ישראל.
We continue on page 37. And I invite Phyllis Blackie to lead us.
Darkness settles slowly across the horizon. The new year rises before us, its fragile moon awaiting our embrace. Heaven and earth entwine in their annual dance of recreation. A fissure appears in the firmament tonight, an entranceway into new beginnings. Out beyond the swales, the sea expands and contracts, keeping time to the thrumming of the universe. Under this Rosh Hashanah sky, the path before us is uncertain. All we can do is hold each other tight as we make our way home.
Toward the bottom of the Hebrew on page 36.
ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
I'd like to invite the president of our Board of Trustees, Laura Zuckerman, to share some words with you this evening.
Shana Tova. One aspect of Reform Judaism that I embrace deeply is that we each have our own relationship with God, which determines how we behave, how we worship, how we live. In reflecting on this past year at Temple Beth Israel and thinking about the next, it becomes clear that a glorious thing about our congregation, this lively, diverse, extended family, which makes up our TBI home, is that each of you has your own relationship with TBI. What it means to you, how you connect, whom you connect with, what role our synagogue plays in your life. Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, Emeritus Chief Rabbi of England of blessed memory, writes, "Community is the human expression of divine love. It is where I am valued, simply for who I am, how I live, and what I give to others. It is the place where they know my name." The colorful quilt of our TBI community represents all the stages of life, from young families to boomers and beyond. Those at each stage give something different to TBI and need something different from TBI. It has been a great honor for me to have the privilege this year of working with and getting to know so many of you. I'd like to describe what goes on regularly at TBI with lay leadership, volunteers, and parents. So stay with me, we're going to go through a week. Sunday, Jewish Community School, parents, teens, children, women of Temple Beth Israel serving coffee, the newly energized Brotherhood meeting, a book club meets, my Jewish neighborhood meets, youth group with a coordinator, maybe bunko in the afternoon, or another WTBI event, or an adult Jewish learning event, security training, Jewish cooking and baking, and a planning meeting for upcoming progressive dinners. There's a lot going on, and that's Sunday. Monday, during the day, a Rekefet online team, an audit team meeting perhaps. In the evening, Board of Trustees meeting or an executive committee. Tuesday, maybe a Mahjong group in the afternoon, or security committee meeting, a membership committee meeting, outreach to unaffiliated Jews meeting. Wednesday, there's an office volunteer working in the office. COVID task force meeting, Judaica shop is open, and in the evening, maybe the TBI Foundation meets. Thursday, Team Tzedakah meets or has a postcard writing event to get the vote out. Adult Jewish Learning may be meeting to planning further programs. And then comes Friday. The Oneg flower angels arrive to fill the vases. The shul band practices. Greeters and Oneg helpers get to work. The Oneg candle angel appears. Saturday, a day of rest, and then it begins again. We have more. If you're still with me? Kahila, all who contribute, putting it together, labeling and mailing. The reliability of the Buildings and Grounds Committee, the dedication of the Security Grant Team, the Israel Committee, planning new things all the time, the Gratitude Committee, writing notes, the Challah Angels, working hard, and even more, Crown of a Good Name Selection Committee is beginning. I want to take a moment, thank you for bearing with me on that week, to thank our Executive Committee, whose members work tirelessly to move important things forward to the board. They help plan, they work with clergy and senior staff to do the important work of the synagogue. I want to extend deep appreciation to Jay Eisenberg, VP Administration, Gary Gilbert, VP Finance, Katie Loeb, VP Education, at-large members Judy Rose and Neil Gerard, who lead and assist in almost every area. And to Rabbi Kupitz, who sits on executive, who adds his voice of reason and experience. and to the Board of Trustees, who ask hard questions and make the important decisions. They collaborate and cooperate all the time and lead you forward. So to all the incredible leaders and volunteers at hand all the time, thank you. But none of this would function as well without the structure and hard work of our senior staff. Administrator Sally Loeb, who keeps the place going every day. Robin McConnell, our Tree of Life Children's Center director, providing a world-class preschool and childcare program which serves the community and makes TBI a better place. And how incredibly fortunate we are to have the spirit, the service, the knowledge, the teaching, and the dedication of our clergy. Multifaceted, but always putting the best interests of our congregation's religious and spiritual life first. We owe so much to Rabbi Kupitz and Cantor Bush, especially for our stability and well-being. Thanks to all the staff and clergy for your incredible work, and to Beth Parker, our wonderful office administrator, Nathan Gibson, our custodian, and all of our wonderful teachers. Moving on. Last year on this night, I said we would connect with congregants, quote, when it is safe to do so. We plan to meet with small groups to hear needs and ideas as we move forward. Thanks to the Come Dream With Us committee, who planned and worked diligently for 5 months, and the hosts, moderators, and scribes who implemented the plan beautifully, this came to fruition. And also thanks to the compiler-in-chief, editors, and writers. Thank you for turning the spoken words into a cohesive report. A special thanks, the most important thanks, to the 90 congregants who gathered in 11 meetings this spring to talk about the present and the future of Temple Beth Israel. You spoke, we listened. We now have a working document, an aspirational roadmap to the future that has been approved by the board. You will learn more in a special October letter and in the November Kahila. We welcome those of you who did not attend the meetings to express yourselves in response to what you will learn about soon about changes coming. Temple Beth Israel, you are an extraordinary Jewish community, and you have much to be proud of. May sweetness and light make our journey to goodness and action this year light-footed and light-hearted. L'Shana Tova.
Continue on page 40 with Chatzi Kaddish.
Yit Kadal ve'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah Alma divrach chirutei ve'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei lechol beit Yisrael v'galau v'zman kariv ve'imeru Barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit ramam v'yit nasei v'yit hadar v'yit aleh v'yit halal Shemei de kutsha. Lela, lela, min kol virchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da amiran ve'alama, ve'men ro.
We turn to page 42 as we move into our Amidah. Our Amidah this evening will be a silent Amidah. We'll begin together with Adonai Tzvatai Tiftach, and then you can continue with the text of your heart or the words of the prayer book through page 51, and we'll pick up together on page 52. I invite those who, and there are special insertions on pages 50 and 51. If you look, they're sort of in a slightly different color in your book that have special High Holy Day pieces, so maybe you choose to focus on that. I invite those of you who are comfortable doing so to please rise.
We're going to start with, as Rabbi mentioned, Adonai Sfatai. It's the same melody we use for Hini Matov. The only thing we'll do differently is we'll open our hearts with just the syllables O Shah before we go into Adonai Sfatai. O Shah. Please join in. O Shah. O Shah. O Shah. Same thing again. O Shah. O Shah. O Shah. O Shah. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach. Ufiagi Tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips. Adonai, open up my lips. That my mouth. That my mouth may declare your praise. One more Oshah. Oshah. Very quiet now. Oshah. Oshah.
page 52, middle of the page.
Kadosh ata v'norah shemecha v'neloah mibaladecha kakatu vayigba Adonai tzevaot b'mishpat v'ha'el hakadosh nihikdash b'tzedakah. Ay, 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 Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch Shemo. HaMelech HaKadosh.
We continue on page 54, on the bottom of the page in the English, and I invite Renee Marcus to lead us.
Our God and God of the generations before us, may a memory of us ascend and come before you. May it be heard and seen by you, winning your favor and reaching your awareness together with the memory of our ancestors, the memory of your sacred city, Jerusalem, and the memory of your people, the family of Israel. May we be remembered for safety, well-being, and favor, for love and compassion, for life and for peace on this day of remembrance.
We continue on the top of page 55. Actually, we're going to go back and forth in Hebrew and English on page 55. Eternal One, remember us.
Zochreinu Adonai Eloheinu bo letova.
Be mindful of us.
Ufakteinu vo livracha.
And redeem us for a life of goodness and blessing.
Ve'oshienu vo lechaim.
Page 59. Invite Don Block to lead us.
Once there was a prince who sailed to faraway countries. Many years had passed, and the last prince thought of coming back. For the moment he felt shame. He had been away so long, so much has he passed since he last saw his home. Then he said to himself, I must not be ashamed to come back. After all, it is my ancestral property that I return. So it is with us, no matter how far we have wandered from the Torah, it remains our possession. From our scripture says, Moses charged us with his teaching. As his heritage of the congregation of Jacob, each of us has our own portion of the Torah. It belongs to us. And when we take up the study of Torah, we are coming home.
We are turning now to page 58. Near the bottom, not quite, but 4 lines from the bottom. 3 lines from the bottom with V'taher Libeinu.
ותהר ליבנו לעבדך באמת, כי אתה אלוהים אמת, ודברך אמת, וקיים לען. ברוך אתה אדוני. מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל. 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 מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל, ויום הזיכרון.
We continue on page 61. I invite Hillary Jacobs to lead us.
Blessing of the people. May the hands of our brothers and sisters who cherish the dust of our land, all of them, wherever they are, be strong. Do not give up in spirit, in joy and in song. Come together as one for the sake of our people.
We are going to pick up on page 64.
וכל החיים יודוך סלע, והללו את שמך באמת, האל ישועתנו ועזרתנו סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני. ברוך הטוב שמך, ולך אנה להודות.
Page 67. Great is peace, for all blessings flow from peace. Great is peace, for without peace, no blessing is complete. Great is peace, for even in times of war, the hope for peace is undiminished. Great is peace, for peace is granted to those who repent. Great is peace, for peace is the inheritance of the righteous. Great is peace, for peace is granted to those who love the study of Torah, love and study the Torah. Great is peace, for peace is granted to the humble. Great is peace, for peace is granted to those who do justice. Great is peace, for God's name is peace. Great is peace, for peace is equal in weight to all the works of creation. Great is peace, for even heaven needs peace. Behold, if peace is needed in heaven, where neither hatred nor strife is found, how great the need for peace on earth, where hatred and strife abound. We pick up on the 4th line in the Hebrew on page 66.
וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. ושפת חיים ברחמים לחיים טובים ולשלום. ברוך אתה אדוני, ברוך ברוך שמו, עושה השלום.
We turn to page 75. Invite those of you who are able to do so to please rise. Please join me in the indented text. We haven't forgotten Avinu Malkeinu, though we've overthrown kings and we disobey fathers, and we have no great liking for absolute power. Akiva stood before you in a time of drought, and his words went up like a flame on the altar. Avinu Malkeinu, you alone are our ruler. Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion for us. He was humble and forgiving, so his prayer was answered. Tonight we speak again in time of drought, dry ground beneath us, no water, only rock. Not a hunger for bread or a thirst for water, but hearts that are longing to hear God's voice. For the sea of faith is all but gone, the tide's gone out on the empty beach. The world mocks our hopes and life tests our courage. Why do the wicked live on and prosper? Why are you silent when they prey on the innocent? And if your dominion is kindness and justice, why is creation in so much pain? Avinu Malkeinu, sustain our souls. Send rain to our root. Help us find a way to pray. Make us humble and forgiving of ourselves and one another. Avinu Malkeinu, renew these words. Help us to speak them with conviction and believe their truth. 100 generations have stood before the ark. They lifted up their voices like flame on the altar. They put their trust in kindness and justice, and they gave their strength to make the promise real. Avinu Malkeinu, we haven't forgotten. Avinu Malkeinu, bring us back to you. Page 77.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Komol Aleinu, Ve'olol Aleinu, V'tapeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Odveinu Misefer Chaim Tovim. Avinu Malkeinu, Kodesh Aleinu, Kodesh Aleinu, Shana Tova. Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Kolenu, Shema Kolenu, Shema
Bottom of page 77, together. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, answer us with grace, for our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love.
Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vaneinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu masi, Aseh imanu, Aseh imanu, Aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed ve'oshienu. Aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed ve'oshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vaneinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu masim.
Shana Tova. Tonight, toward the beginning of the service, in a prayer known by its first word, Hineni, here I am, Cantor Bush petitioned God. It's a cantorial highlight of the High Holy Day liturgy that's chanted in synagogues throughout the world. A powerful and dramatic prayer, a prayer in which the cantor, with great humility and trembling, begs God to accept his prayers on behalf of the congregation, so that God will hear our prayers and grant us atonement. As wonderful as he is, having our cantor as a surrogate is not enough. We must actively engage the demands and challenges of these days of awe. We need to stand before ourselves and God with honesty and integrity. We need to be courageous enough to admit our failings and to ask ourselves hard questions. The first question in our history, the very first question asked in the Torah, is asked of Adam. Adam and Eve, while in the garden, they hide from God. And God asked, Ayeka, where are you? Ayeka. Adam and Eve respond with evasion and with passing the buck. Vayomer ha'adam, ha'isha asher natati imadi, hi natna li min ha'etz va'ochel. When confronted, Adam says to God, that woman that you put in here with me, she gave me from the tree, and I ate. Vatomer ha'isha, hanachash hishiani va'ochel. The woman said, the snake tricked me, and I ate. Adam blames Eve and God, and Eve blames the snake. They're unwilling to look at themselves, to take responsibility for their actions. On Yom Kippur afternoon, we will read about Jonah, who also hides from God. He flees on a boat believing that he can escape from his responsibilities. Ayeka, where are you? This is the question that confronts me and all of us on these high holy days. Like Adam and Eve, like Jonah, we are masters at hiding and evading responsibility. We hide from ourselves. We hide from God. Mi ani. Ma ani. Who am I? What am I? What does life demand of me? These are uncomfortable questions, and I often avoid them. Yet they are precisely the questions I need to ask myself tonight. Jewish tradition teaches me that Rosh Hashanah and the days through Yom Kippur command me not to hide. No pretense, no arrogance, no rationalizations. Facing myself honestly, my strengths and my failings. Finding the courage to take responsibility for my actions and inactions. Did I stubbornly stand by my mistakes, or did I admit when I was wrong? Did I cause pain, or did I bring healing? Did I criticize more than I praised? Did I pursue justice, or was I indifferent? What were my priorities? When I'm truly honest with myself, when I become vulnerable and admit my human frailty, then, and only then, am I better able to recognize the divine potential within me. A legend tells of a group of angels who, having heard that God intended to create the human being in God's own likeness, plotted to hide that image. One angel proposed hiding it on the pinnacle of the highest mountain. But a wiser angel pointed out that the human is an ambitious climber and would ascend the highest mountain. Another angel suggested that God's image be sunk beneath the deepest ocean. But this angel too was dissuaded from the plan when it was pointed out that the human is curious and would plumb the ocean and draw forth the hidden treasure. The shrewdest angel of them all counseled that the divine image should be hidden within the human beings themselves, because that is the last place that they would be likely to look. During these days of teshuvah, of turning, we must look. We must seek to discover the holy within us. Rabbi Lawrence Kushner writes, there are a series of license plate frames that say things like, I'd rather be fishing, or I'd rather be playing golf. He says, the other day I saw a new one. It said, I'd rather be here now. That strikes me as terribly wise and religious. What we seek is not somewhere else. It's right here and right now. On this Rosh Hashanah, we are right where we need to be, joining our congregation, confronting our human failings, and embracing a hopeful future. Before we can change ourselves, renew ourselves, we must first realize where we are and who we are. Another story. This takes place in the town of Chelm. And those of you who have heard of Chelm know that it is a town populated by simple fools. After a number of fires had done great damage to Chelm, the town council decided it was time to create a fire department. So they sent the mayor to a neighboring city to see how a fire department works. And he came back and reported what he saw. He said, "They sounded their shofars for the alarm, and then the fire was put out." Well, some weeks later, a fire began in one of the shops in Chelm. And quickly the volunteers ran to their homes. They grabbed their shofars, ran into the streets, and sounded the alarm. Where they stood, sounding the alarm as the town burned. When someone from the next town came to survey the damage, the people of Chelm told him what had happened. The visitor responded, "It's not enough to sound the alarm. You must heed that alarm and take action." This Rosh Hashanah, we hear the blast of the shofar. It calls us to action. According to Lurianic Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, the world was created whole and then was broken, and in the future it will be restored once again to wholeness. And we can hear this process replicated in the sounds of the shofar. Tikiya, a whole sound. Shvarim trua, broken notes. Tikiya, whole notes. Whole, broken, whole. And we live in the middle, in the brokenness, in a world of poverty and homelessness, of plague and famine, of violence and injustice, of pain and sorrow. These days of reflection and repentance remind us that we need to act to repair ourselves and our relationships and our world. The shofar calls to us, do not wait. The time to act is now. Now. Tonight on this Rosh Hashanah Eve is the time to take an honest accounting of ourselves. Our tradition calls this cheshbon hanefesh, a time to be vulnerable, to be honest with ourselves, to evaluate our successes and failures, to make a commitment, a plan to do better. Adam, Eve, and Jonah, they all hid from God and from themselves. However, when God called out, Abraham, Jacob, and Moses answered, Hineni, here I am. How will we respond? Source of strength, on this Rosh Hashanah, help me to ask myself hard questions and to have the courage to answer honestly. May I stand with humility, hope, and purpose, and say with a full heart, Hineni, here I am, Hineni. Shana tova tikatevu v'tichatemu. May we all be written and sealed for a good year in the book of life.
Yasher koach, toda rabbah to Rabbi for those beautiful and inspiring words. For our musical reflection on Rabbi's words, we're going to share with you a composition by Dani Masang to a text that you often have seen but probably are not as familiar with as you should be. It's called Elohai Nitzor, and if you look on page 68, you will see the text there. It really is our daily reflection on how to move through our day with kindness, with compassion, and with an awareness that like Adam, like Eve, like the snake, we are easily tempted to not such good behavior. So may we remember these words every day and the beautiful composition that Donnie created for us.
Elohai nitzor לשון מרע ושפתיים מדבר מרמה ואם כללי נפשי תדום ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה אלוהי לשוני מרע ושפתיים מדבר מרמה ואם כללי נפשי תדום ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה אלוהי יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני
I'd like to invite Jerry Fenning to share some words about our High Holy Day food drive.
Shana Tova. I am privileged to talk about Temple Beth Israel's amazing journey during each High Holy Day cycle when we all reach out to our neighbors who are food insecure. Yes, this is our 23rd consecutive year in gathering non-perishable food for the victims in our community who are simultaneously experiencing hunger, illness, inflation, and housing difficulties. This is Temple Beth Israel's largest social action, social justice event of the year. We begin on Rosh Hashanah evening service, September 25th, and continue for 3 weeks until Simchat Torah on Sunday morning, October 16th. The Inland Valley Hope Partners serves upwards of 75,000 women, men, and children during the year. Their truck will arrive to pick up all the bags of food during the religious community service school session. Most congregations look inward during the High Holy Days cycle, but Temple Beth Israel generosity exceeds to our neighbors. It's an extraordinary event. You should be proud of all of yourselves. This year's food drive is in honor of Rabbi Jonathan Kupet's Chai year, 18 years, in guiding our Jewish community in so many wonderful ways. His kindness, his dedication, his caring approach, and leading our congregation is very much appreciated. We have thrived in celebrating joyous occasions and survived in facing crises, as our Rabbi Jonathan has steadfastly been on our side. Toda Rabbah. Thank you. Our goal this year is to donate 1,018 bags of non-perishable canned and packaged goods. Other appropriate items include travel-size personal hygiene products and diapers, baby food as well. All of us are responsible in meeting our goals. This is not one bag or two bags, but as many as you can fill. Please go to room 12 across the lawn to deposit your donations before or after High Holy Day services and during religious school hours. On other occasions, please go to the office and announce yourself that you're on our premises with food items. If you are unable to travel to TBI, then call the office for a volunteer to help you out. You may choose to donate monetary funds toward the food drive through our portal and TBI website. If you send a check to Temple Beth Israel, please note in the bottom of the item, High Holy Day Food Drive. The money will solely be directed to the Inland Valley Hope Partners Food Insecure Program. For every $12 that is donated, we will count that as one bag of food, ensuring that everyone is given credit toward achieving our goal. That means a high donation of $18 equals 1.5 bags. Our favorite supermarkets have stepped up to assist TBI in this worthwhile endeavor. Stater Brothers donated 400 bags. Trader Joe's and Vaughn's each donated 300 bags. Most of the bags have handles, but others will be carried by the traditional under-the-arm style, so please be prepared for flexibility. We want to recognize all the Team Tzedek members and co-chairs Laura Katowski and Lillian Metzlinsky for their contributions. Team Tzedek members will be in the foyer with extra bags as you leave the sanctuary. Liz Wigan performed exemplary in gathering together so many drivers. Great thanks are extended to the 30-plus volunteers who either organized setting up the delivery or traveled throughout our community to provide 2 bags to Temple Beth Israel, and in addition, we delivered delicious Hanukkah challahs baked by Old Town Baking Company. I want to thank our 6 superheroes and their partners who collectively delivered 111 bags plus obtained new volunteer drivers. We will count and update everyone's progress in reaching the 1,018 bag goal. Stay tuned as we cross the finish line in assisting people who are food insecure during these difficult times. Thank you for the privilege of speaking to you tonight. Shana Tova.
Page 79. If I can get the saran wrap off the top of the wine. Hold on, not quite yet. Page 78. Lift this cup for the year that is gone, for mountaintop moments and the taste of joy, celebration shared, milestones met, all we've mastered and achieved since last we met. For wedding rings, tears, and kisses under the chuppah, new babies' first words and first steps. For the children who bless our homes and bring life to our community. For B'nai Mitzvah and confirmands, young teachers of this holy congregation. Ours to cherish and guide with love. for beloved spouses and siblings, for loyal friends who grow more precious with each passing year, for this community which nourishes us all, for all we've learned, for all we've struggled through, for challenges surmounted and disappointments met with courage, for last moments shared with those we've loved and lost, for parents and grandparents whose memories are with us forever. We lift this cup for the year that is gone, for the year that begins. May we meet it in strength, in unity, in hope. We lift life's cup and celebrate survival. May we sanctify each day that is ours. If you're comfortable, I invite you to rise for Kiddush, middle of page 79.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher bachar banu mikol hashon, v'romamtanu mikol hashon, v'kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'titen lanu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ahava et yom hazikaron hazeh yom teruah mikra kodesh zeicher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim udvarcha emet v'kayam la'ad Baruch atah Adonai Melech kol haaretz Mikadesh Yisrael 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 Ve'yom hazikaron.
Bottom of page 80. Source of blessing, eternal our God, you fill the universe with majestic might, giving us life, upholding the life within us, and bringing us to this time.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'higiyanu b'zman Chaim.
Shana Tova again. I think we're a little out of practice, staying up past 9 for services, but it's been a wonderful, wonderful night. I will try to get through these thank yous and announcements as quickly as I can. If you'd indulge me for a moment, it's the president's prerogative to thank his or her partner And I would just like to acknowledge and thank my partner, Arthur Weinstein, for his incredible support as a helpmate and his patience through this year. Thank you, Arthur. Okay, now, sincere, profound thank you to Rabbi and Cantor for leading us in tonight's very special service. And we deeply appreciate the time, the thought, the creativity that went into making tonight's meaningful and spiritually uplifting. Thank you to our candle lighters, Lisa Bush and Karen Kupitz. Thank you to the wonderful TBI choir and guest singers, and to choir director Ruth Charloff. It was a pleasure being able to watch you. For lifting your voices and our spirits, and to Cantor Bush for your musical leadership. For the wonderful instrumental music, where is Randy? There he is. Thank you to Dr. Randy Polavoy for your steady and creative hand at the keyboard. Thank you to our wonderful readers tonight, Joan Gerard, Angelo De Basilio, Lisa Berlsheimer, Phyllis Blackie, Renee Marcus, Don Block, and Hillary Jacobs. Let me also, just bear with me, I do want to thank the ushers. They come early, they stay late, they make sure everything goes as it should under Jay's leadership. I'd like to thank, and under Stuart Mann's guidance, Angelo De Basilio, Harriet De Basilio, Jerry Fenning, Candy Fisher, Isaac Kaufman, Renee Marcus, Judy Rose, Toyasha Sabag, Kylie Sykes, and Arthur Weinstein. Thank you so much for doing that. And thanks to all who made the video streaming possible tonight, Ed Beardsley and Claudia Gonzalez. Thank you so much. And to our congregation for your continuing support, and special recognition to Jay, whom I've mentioned before, for coordinating just about everything that happens during the High Holy Days. Now, just one announcement about a very important act of Tikkun Olam, the postcard writing campaign that is underway. Our team, SEDEC, you've heard about this before, I won't repeat it again, but is inviting all our congregants to participate in this civic action, a postcard writing project to the parts of the country who have historically low turnout. It is nonpartisan. It's part of the URJ campaign. And it's very easy to do. There are two ways you can help. First, you're invited to a party, to a postcard writing party at the home of Laura Katowski and Ran Liebeskind Hadas. I hope I pronounced that correctly. This Thursday night, September 29th. Or, alternatively, if you don't want to have a party while you write, you can write postcards at home by contacting Lori Borer for a postcard kit. For more information on how to find out about those two things, check the e-blast or call the Temple office. Quickly, about tomorrow, Rosh Hashanah, our service begins with tefillah at 10 a.m. The family tefillah service begins at 2 o'clock. Tashlich, a wonderful part of Rosh Hashanah, the symbolic casting away of one's sins, will be held at Red Hill Park in Rancho Cucamonga beginning at 4 o'clock. L'Shana Tova. Oh, the reception, I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, the only other thing to say is after our regular service tomorrow, we have a reception on the lawn, food, sponsored by our Board of Trustees. So stick around after services and have a nosh. We are going to move toward the conclusion of our service, Aleinu L'Shabeach. It's on page 82. Invite everybody who's able to please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon adu, l'ten gedulah li'otzem breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot,
Our thoughts turn to loved ones whom death has taken from us in recent days, and those who died at this season in years past. Our heart opens as well to the wider circles of loss in our community and wherever grief touches the human family. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing in this new year and always. We turn to Kaddish on page 90. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich machutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon, v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam olomei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shmei dekudusha brichu, Le'ela ul'ela mikol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, da'amiram bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. And we say together, amen. Turn to page 98. Please join me in the indented text. Our God and God of all generations before us, may it be your will in the coming year to grant us a year of abundance and atonement, a year of blessings bestowed and received, a year of community and compassion, a year of life and exaltation, a year of enlightenment, a year of friendship and forgiveness, a year of going up in gladness to the land of Israel, a year of health and healing and humor, a year of inner strength and well-being, a year of joy and Jewish celebration, a year of knowledge and learning for its own sake, a year of love between parents and children, friends and spouses, brothers and sisters, a year of mitzvot and moments of sweetness, a year of nature protected and enjoyed, a year of optimism and hope, a year of peace pursued with perseverance, a year of quiet and tranquility, a year of rain and season, a year of song and spiritual growth, a year of foresight and tikkun, a year of understanding and unity, a year of vows fulfilled and violence overcome, a year of wisdom acquired and shared, a year of coexistence among the families of the earth, a year of young and old reaching out to one another, a year of Zion aglow with light for us and all the world. Our God and God of the generations before us, grant us a year of gratitude to you for the most profound of blessings, your gift of life. Our God and Yehi ratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Shetichadesh aleinu shana tova umituka. May we be renewed with a good year and a sweet year. L'shana tova. Shana Tova, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Good night.
Good night, everyone in Cyber Shul.